Very pleasant morning, my dear students. Today we discuss about the subject of basic civil and mechanical engineering, the unit 4, the name of internal combustion engine and power plant. The topic is today we have the working principle of turbine, reciprocating pump and then centrifugal pump. It is a syllabus. We are already discussed about classification of power plant, working principle of thermal power plant, gas, diesel, hydroelectric and nuclear power plant. And also previous class we are discussing about working principle of boiler and the different type of boiler. Today we discuss turbine, reciprocating pump. It should be further classified single and double acting. And also finally we discuss about centrifugal pump. Turbine. A steam turbine is a pre-mover in which the rotary motion is obtained by the gradual change of momentum of the steam. Then only it is possible to turn the turbine blade in the radial. Steam turbine is primarily used to run the alternator or generator in thermal power plant. It is to develop the mechanical energy from the heat from the steam. It is also used to rotate the propeller of ship through reducing gear. We can use the turbine to run the ship. The design and manufacture of turbine blade are quite complicated to do. It is very limited compared to manufacturing to the turbine. It is the example of the turbine. Benstock, nozzle, runner, and then casing, bucket. Bottom side you have nozzle. The name is called water jet. Sphere and hand wheel. We can open the hand wheel. The water coming very high velocity to hit the bucket. Automatically should be run. So the runner is connected. The runner is connected. Generator automatically should be generate the power. Nozzle. In a steam turbine, normally convergent or divergent type nozzle. Both nozzle we can use. When the steam flow through the nozzle, there is a pressure drop. The pressure drop should be converted to the velocity or kinetic energy. The nozzle also guide the steam in the proper direction to restrict the blade. Otherwise, we can lose the kinetic energy in the steam. The nozzle also kept very close. It is possible to reduce the losses. Rotor. The rotor is another name is called runner. It consists of n number of circular disc. Its name is called bucket. It should be fixed on the horizontal shaft. The rotor is mounted suitable bearing. The rotor is heavy, so it is a high weight carrying capacity type bearing we can use. On blade is placed on the periphery of the rotor. It is the circumference surface of the rotor in the large number. High pressure fluid from the nozzle impact on the surface of the blade due to which the rotor is rotated. The surface of the blade is made smooth and reduce the frictional loss. Otherwise, it will be generate somewhat heat or pressure. It is lead to failure or damage of the blade. Casing. Generally, casing is made by steel which enclose the rotor and blade. In the multi-stage turbine, we are seeing the video. There is the multi-stage turbine. That type of turbine, the casing accumulate the fixed blade on the casing. The casing helps the flow of steam and also protect the inner parts of material or product from any accident outside. Types of steam turbine. Steam turbine is classified impulse turbine and reaction turbine. The impulse turbine means The impulse is the force obtained on an object when the jet of fluid strikes the object. This is one of the example of the impulse turbine. Reaction turbine is nothing but the reaction force obtained on the object when the fluid leaves the object with a higher relative velocity. It is an impulse turbine and then reaction turbine. It is one of the example of the Pelton wheel turbine. It is an impulse type turbine. When the fluid hit the bucket, then the rotor or the runner rotate. It should be produce electrical energy with the help of alternator. It is a Francis turbine. The fluid is entering to the blade in axially. There should be developed force in the blade rotate. Automatically the means of rotating should be produce electrical power. I can upload all the video also in your Google Classroom. It is the diagram for your drawing purpose, and the fluid is entering this scroll casing to the regulating rod. Through regulating rod, it should be the regulating rod support the guide vane or wicket gate. The wicket gate should be produce or control the flow of the water, and then runner attach the mains of the runner is rotate with the help of fluid flowing that blade. And the Kaplan turbine. So Kaplan turbine have guide valve and then runner. Guide valve is allow the water flow direction with constant velocity. There is a reaction between the water and the blade. It should be generate the rotational motion. Already the turbine main shaft is connected to the alternator. Should be develop the power. It is a comparison between the impulse and reaction turbine. You can understand the efficiency of reaction turbine is high as compared than impulse turbine. And then impulse turbine have main component nozzle and then moving blade. But reaction turbine, it consists fixed blade. Blade itself is act as a nozzle and moving blade. And then we are discussing about reciprocating pump. A pump have wide application in pumping water, fuel, chemical, various fluid like lubricant in viscous fluid. Water pump used to pump water from the bore well, another open source residual in agriculture purpose. Vessel, high pressure injector. It can use the injector in the IC engine, diesel engine. Nowadays we can use a petrol engine also. It is produce high pressure more than 400 psi. As syllabus we have the two types of pump, reciprocating and then centrifugal pump. Both the pump we can use it for the purpose of water. The reciprocating pump is classified two types, single acting and then double acting. So single acting means it have one suction stroke as well as one delivery stroke. Look at the diagram, you can clearly understand. The piston is moved towards left side. Inside the cylinder it should be create some vacuum. That vacuum is filled by the suction pipe. That time suction will automatically open. The water filled in the cylinder. At the connecting rod lower end point B arrived up to point C, the cylinder is filled by water, and then the direction of piston changes left to right. That time the suction valve closed, delivery valve open because the pressure inside the cylinder is increased. The main component cylinder with the piston rod connecting rod, crank and crankshaft. Suction pipe with the foot valve. We can use one-way valve. It is inbuilt with the filter, delivery pipe, suction valve and then delivery valve. All the component have. Okay. Working principle of single acting. We already say how to operate a single acting reciprocating pump. The crankshaft is coupled with electric motor or diesel engine. When the motor or engine started, piston moves to and fro inside the cylinder. When the piston moves right in the direction of arrow, where the vacuum will be produced in the cylinder is due to the suction valve open. The water sucks from the pump and enter to the cylinder through the suction pipe. When the piston moves left direction, the pressure created in the water due to the delivery valve is open and the water is forced to enter the delivery pipe, and finally it should be achieved required height. The working of double acting pump. Double acting pump, you look at the double acting pump, every stroke it should be produce delivery stroke as well as suction stroke. Okay, the piston move to the right side, left side should be created vacuum. The vacuum is filled by the suction pipe, and the inside delivery pipe open should be deliver the water up to the point C. After that, the piston direction is changed. That time, this side, right side valve open, left side valve is closed. Because every acting revolution of the crankshaft should be continuously deliver more number of water. It is a comparison of single acting and double acting. Single acting have only suction pipe. Either two suction pipe is cost less, is cost more. That's the main difference. And also it's the power of the motor is small size. We need high power, so the motor size also. Only is advantage double amount of the water should be pumped double acting. And then it is a theoretical calculation. Suppose the problem should be asked, you will be consider the formula. Discharge of water per stroke L into A. Discharge of pump per second is a formula. Q is a discharge. Length of the cylinder, area, cross sectional area, N is the number of revolution divided by 60. Suppose it's a double acting means you should be calculated to LAN. Slip of the pump. It is one of the main understanding of the single acting or double acting reciprocating pump. It is nothing but the slip of the motor can define the difference between the theoretical and the actual discharge. Generally, actual discharge is less than the theoretical discharge. So we need to understand how to slip occur in our pump. It have more slip means it is possible to change the piston under the cylinder. And then we discuss about centrifugal pump. Main parts of the centrifugal pump is the impeller, casing. We are already discussed suction pipe, foot valve. Foot valve is a one-way valve. It should not be allowed to come down the water, and then delivery pipe. It is a centrifugal pump. It have the eye of the pump. It should be produce some vacuum while rotating the motor. The casing is a gap between the casing and then impeller should be gradually increase. This is gradually increase means it is the pressure loss simultaneously increase the velocity. Then only should be delivered high level of the water. Impeller is a metallic disc fitted in with a number of curved bands. Initially, water is poured inside the casing. The process called priming. Is one of the important two mark. What do you mean by priming? Initially, water will be poured inside the casing because the centrifugal pump not perfectly operate inside the air bubbles present there. So after priming, the impeller will be immersed in the water inside the casing. It is highly essential, one of the main parameter. It is also a drawback because when emergency we start the motor means it need a framing means it need additional time. It is also increase our pressure. When the impeller is rotated an electric motor or engine, it should be produce centrifugal force to the kinetic energy, velocity energy will produce in the water. This is finally converted into the pressure energy due to which water is pumped up. Casing is surrounded by the impeller. The area between the impeller and the casing is gradually increased. The reason of the gradually increase, the decrease in the velocity flow due to the reduction in the kinetic energy, the pressure energy of the water is increased. It is the difference between the reciprocating and centrifugal pump. Cost is high, reciprocating as compared. Actually, the reciprocating pump we can lift the water more height as compared than centrifugal pump. Reciprocating pump is not possible to pump the viscous fluid. It is one of the main drawback. But we can pump a centrifugal pump a viscous fluid. Viscous fluid nothing but oil. Coconut oil is the type of oil. We cannot able to pump reciprocating pump. Thank you for listening this video. I hope you should be understand what is the turbine and then what is the pump. The pump is classified two types, centrifugal and reciprocating. I hope you should be understand all the topic today we have discussed in this video. Thank you for listening. Student, if you have doubt, kindly feel free ask for me. It is very helpful to enrich your knowledge. Kindly stay inside the home. You should be support your